I don't know anybody who would purposely stick their hand in a cup of urine.
We head to San Antonio, Texas for a sentencing hearing. 55-year-old Stephen Walbacher has pled guilty to drug possession. Today, he appears before Judge Stephanie Boyd to hear his sentence. He's looking at anywhere from probation to 8 years in prison. But first, the judge has a request.
Before we do this sentencing, I want a UA from Mr. Walbacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Walbacher, where are you? All right.
The judge is asking Walbacher to take a UA, or urine analysis.
What's going to be the result of your UA? All right, so we're going to do a UA.
20 minutes later, the judge returns to the case. But there's an issue with the results of the UA testing.
Now, I'm being told he stuck his finger in water and in the testing, which I find very suspicious. Nobody does that. I don't know anybody who would purposely stick their hand in a cup of urine.
I just did, but there was no urine, man. I just grabbed the cup. I didn't even.
Yeah, nobody does that. You wasted a UA in this court. Counsel, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I would say that he's 55. I think his report, he's got child support obligations. I don't know that at this point in time, sentencing the prison is going to really correct his behaviors. I would ask you to make him do outpatient treatment. Let's see if give him a chance.
Yeah, I would tell you, counsel, outpatient treatment is going to be out of the question. He's going into custody today. So either he's going to prison or either he's going to treatment. But for someone to purposely invalidate a test, that tells me a little bit where he is with regards to his sobriety. So which do you choose, prison or treatment?
I'll take treatment.
All right, the court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 8 years. There's to be proof of employment within 45 days of release.
Before he's taken into custody, the judge offers Walbacher a few parting words.
Mr. Walbacher, here's the thing. When I ask for people to do UAs, sometimes I know that people are going to come in and they're going to be positive. The reason why I'm asking is because I'm trying to determine, one, your level of truthfulness, and two, where you are in your sobriety. And when you are dishonest with me about your sobriety, you know what that tells me? That tells me you need to be in somebody's inpatient treatment. So you're going to inpatient treatment because of you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
In addition to a year of inpatient treatment and 8 years of probation, Walbacher must also serve 200 hours of community service. We're in San Antonio, Texas for a plea hearing. 49-year-old Raul Reyes is pleading no contest to reckless injury to a child. 2 years earlier, Reyes, who has a long criminal history with convictions for theft and assault, was participating in a social media challenge with his girlfriend's 9-year-old son. As part of a prank, the boy hit Reyes in the head with baby powder. Reyes responded by smacking the boy, whose head then hit a wall. The boy suffered a bruise to his head, but he's made a full recovery. Police were called and Reyes was initially charged with injury to a child with intent, but he took a plea deal in exchange for a lesser charge. Today, Reyes appears with his attorney before Judge Stephanie Boyd to officially enter his plea and hear his sentence. He's facing anywhere from 180 days to 2 years in jail.
Then to the lesser included offense of injury to a child reckless, how do you plea? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Reyes, what have you learned from this incident?
Not to lay down with dogs because you will get these.
But see, here's the thing. When you say not to lay down with dogs, the only people who lay down with dogs are dogs. Let me tell you what you should have learned from this incident. Number one, you're an adult, this is a child. You can't be playing violent games with children of this nature. You understand? That's what you should learn from this.
Yes, sir.
I was considering giving you less than 18 months, but I don't know if he's learned much from the statements he's made to the court. All right, and then Brittany Mitchell stepping in.
Yes, Your Honor. I've been discussing with the mother of the victim. She is begging for me to drop the charges right now. I told her that I would come and represent that to the court. But based on his history, the state feels that the 18 months is fair.
Could I see the mother just briefly?
Yes, Your Honor.
You just step to the side.
Sylvia Martinez Lopez, who was not charged in the incident, approaches the bench.
This gentleman over here to my right, Mr. Reyes, you are not to have any contact with him. Do you understand?
Yes.
He is not to have any contact with the complainant in this case, which is your child. Do you understand?
Yes.
And Child Protection Services is in your life, right?
No, ma'am.
Right. They're going to be in your life if you don't get your act together. Is there anything you do not understand?
Are they, so in other words, he is getting,
No, in other words,
I mean, I wanted
Here's the
to drop
thing.
the
the charges are not getting dropped. What you should be concentrating on is, instead of what's happening to him, you need to start putting your children first, and you're not.
No, I do put my children.
No, you do
first.
not.
Okay, ma'am.
Let me ask you this. If you put your children first, why are you letting somebody with his history come live at your house?
He wasn't living at my house.
Mhm.
No, he
But you
wasn't.
knew him, didn't you?
Yes.
All right, you're excused.
After excusing Lopez, Judge Boyd shifts back to the defendant.
All right, I'm finding you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to 13 months in the state jail facility. Give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with and Sylvia Lopez. Do you understand? And it is never appropriate to discipline somebody in anger, because it sounds like you were angry because he put talcum powder on his hand and then hit you at the back of the head. So that's not appropriate. You understand? All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Reyes was sentenced to 13 months in a Texas jail with credit for 216 days time served. Next, we head to San Antonio, Texas for a plea hearing. 32-year-old Ernest Gonzalez has been charged with possession of a controlled substance. 11 months earlier, police say they found Gonzalez asleep in his parked car with several open containers of alcohol and a gun in his waistband. When they searched Gonzalez, police found methamphetamine in his pocket. He was arrested and released on $1,000 bond. If found guilty, Gonzalez could be sentenced to anywhere from 180 days to 2 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. But he decided to plead no contest in hopes of being granted probation instead. Today, Gonzalez appears before Judge Stephanie Boyd to enter his plea and hear his sentence. He's represented by attorney George Sharman.
The court will defer finding of guilt because you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
All right, I have a few questions for you. How often were you using drugs?
Maybe once a month, if that.
Okay, so let me explain something to you.
Yes, ma'am.
I've read the police report, and in the police report, you were passed out in a vehicle surrounded by alcohol. You even admitted to the officers that you had just used some meth and then have meth in your pocket. That doesn't sound like I only use once a month. If you drug tested today, what are the results going to be? You're going to get drug tested today.
Yeah,
So you need to be honest.
marijuana, of course, and then alcohol.
All right. And anything else?
No.
All right. We're going to come back with your sentencing once I get a UA.
35 minutes later, after the drug test is complete, Gonzalez appears again before Judge Boyd.
Your test has come back. What do you think it's positive for?
Mainly THC, probably some alcohol, and then obviously what I was charged with.
See, this is the thing about people in their sobriety. You already knew I was going to follow this agreement and give you deferred adjudication, correct? You knew that,
Yes, ma'am.
and you still were dishonest. Now you're changing it. You told me you're only going to be positive for marijuana and alcohol. Isn't that what you said?
It's mainly THC, but
No, don't do this mainly thing. I asked you if you would be positive for meth. So now we're back to how often are you using?
about 3 times a week.
All right, so we go from once a month to 3 times a week.
It's embarrassing, so I apologize.
Here's the thing. Everybody in this courtroom are working on something in their life for improvement. Believe it or not, Stephanie Boyd is not perfect. I'm working on improving things in my life. I'm always working on my patience. And where we are now is hopefully not where we'll end up, that we will have improved on whatever we're working on. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so what I'm going to do for you, part of it is punishment for being untruthful to the court. I'm going to sentence you to 5 years deferred adjudication. You know what I had written down on the sheet of paper where I write my notes?
I can't see that.
Oh, 3 years deferred. That's what I had written. So these 2 years that you're getting on top of the 3 years, that's not your attorney's fault. That's all on you.
I accept that.
In addition to 5 years probation, Gonzalez must pay a $500 fine, complete 200 hours of community service, and take a DWI education course. Next, we're in Austin, Texas for an eviction hearing. 33-year-old Bidia Velasquez is facing eviction from the Dexter Apartments. Her landlord claims she owes back rent of $1,620. And today, Velasquez is scheduled to appear remotely before Judge Jade Meeker to find out if she'll have to leave her home. Appearing on behalf of the apartment complex is Representative Yasmin Lasman.
Is Bidia Velasquez here?
They're trying to log on.
They're trying to log on?
Yes, but that was almost an hour ago.
Judge Meeker decides she's not going to wait.
We've got Dexter Austin versus John Adame. Okay.
They're still current.
But just as the court moves on to the next case, Lasman is suddenly distracted by someone outside her office.
They're still current. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Bidia.
Just as Lasman calls out to Velasquez, the defendant storms into her office, unannounced.
Oh, no. We're not doing that. We're on court right now. Give me 1 second.
No, you are she already dismissed my case.
She did not dismiss your case. The reason
Okay,
because you
tiene que
were-
yo te voy a esperar una hora.
Okay.
Una hora.
It seems Velasquez is upset because she believes that the judge dismissed the case while she was on hold.
Give me a second.
Don't be
Hold on.
like that.
I was not. You were not on the phone.
I was on the phone. Do you need
Tell her to go try the phone number again, Miss.
una pinche hora?
Do you hear the judge? Peter, do you hear the judge? She's telling for you to log in.
Miss Velasquez.
I can't.
Miss
Put
Velasquez.
me in, I will.
Try the phone number again.
Mira una hora. Wait, mira.
Look, listen.
Mira,
she's talking.
54 minutes. Right here.
Miss Velasquez.
54 minutes, I was waiting.
I understand. We tried to.
I can't again. They didn't give me the passcode.
There's no passcode.
The court clerk steps in to offer some technical advice.
If you're calling in through the phone number, you push *6 to unmute, and I repeated that a few times before we started the case.
You heard that, Peter?
I didn't hear that before. Michael?
A few minutes later, Velasquez left the office and logged into her hearing where Judge Meeker ruled in favor of the landlord. Velasquez was evicted and ordered to pay the $1,620. The case is now closed. Next, we head to San Antonio, Texas for a motion hearing. 21-year-old Alexis Morganfield has been charged with the sexual assault of a 16-year-old child. A year and a half earlier, Morganfield, an aspiring rapper and social media influencer, was arrested for the second time in 2 months for sexual assault and released on $50,000 bond. Today, he appears with his attorney, Ben Stevenson, to ask Judge Stephanie Boyd for permission to travel outside the state of Texas for work. Representing the state is prosecutor Caitlin Wilkes.
State, are you in agreement with the defense's motion?
Yes, with some caveats. We'd like documentation up front of exactly where and who and how long he will be traveling, and that it's legit. I don't want him walking around Los Angeles saying, oh, let me find the studio. You know, it needs to be planned in advance.
Defense?
Your Honor, the way that he performs, the way that he makes money is by producing videos and then drops those videos on the internet, and then people view them on the internet, and if enough people view them, he gets paid. A lot of that is spontaneous, so it's holding my client back pretty badly.
Judge Boyd doesn't seem convinced.
So here's the thing. He should be able to provide documentation and saying, I'm shooting a video and this is where I'm shooting it.
Your Honor, my client is asking to respectfully address the court directly. Will you allow my client to directly address you?
Sure.
Miss Joyce Boyd, it's not like that. I need to promote myself. I can't just let me be in the house. I got to do videos. People want to make music with me. I got to go to the producers out in there. My cousin is Tay Made It. He's in San Antonio right now. He's the biggest producer out. That's my blood cousin. You can look him up. Tavian Carter. Boom. He worked with NBA Youngboy. Okay.
Let me stop you right here, Mr. Morganfield.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I understand that people want to be cool or fly or whatever the termination is today. But you're in a courtroom. So don't do like, boom, and my cousin Tay. I'm sure his mom did not name him Tay when he was brought into this world. So could we use people's real names today? And could we talk in complete sentences?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, yes, ma'am. So far as I'm basically okay.
Let's try speaking without using the word like.
Yes, ma'am. I'm an influencer, ma'am. Literally. I can't promote myself at home. I can't basically work with other people, miss, if I can't go nowhere. I don't want no one just knowing where I stay at. I can't go nowhere. It's a dangerous world, miss. You know, type going to San Antonio, people targeting me. I don't know who know me or who want to be after me. I went somewhere one time, dude talking about, hey, bro, I know who you are, before I got on house arrest. And he talking about, I said, you don't know who I am, but I ignored him in the story. He talking about, yeah, I do. He said, bro, you look quality. I had some people in Sunrise, bro, they trying to get at you. I'm what? He said, but yeah.
When Morganfield is finished, Judge Boyd is ready to wrap things up.
This is what the court is doing. If you have documentation where you're going to be, then the court will do that, period. And you and your client are excused.
8 months later, one of Morganfield's sexual assault of a child cases was dismissed. But in the other case, he pled not guilty and went to trial, where a jury found him guilty. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Morganfield will be eligible for parole after serving a minimum of 3 years.